for example. That's a job title that is a very recent job title and that people have started taking more serious, you know, and that a lot of people are making a lot of money with. If you also look at content writers, there are a lot of very, very talented women that can write very, very amazing talent that is focused around tech or tech-driven businesses, because I think in Nigeria we're also kind of jumbling up tech companies and tech-driven companies, you know, because there are a lot of so-called tech startups that are not actually tech startups. They are in the hotel industry.
What's the core difference?
Okay, so the core difference is a tech-driven company. For example, let's take a Konga or a Jumia. They are basically a commerce company, a retail company. They have products, they sell them. What they do to sell them is basically use an online platform that is based on technology. That is why they're tech-driven. But their core operations on a day-to-day basis is basically sorting out the orders and sorting out the logistics behind it, right? A company that does online hotel bookings, for example, their core business is creating the relationships with the hotels, managing those bookings, but they're using technology to do that. A tech company, on the other hand, like my company, for example, we build websites for clients. We do social media management for clients. We build software for clients. That is the difference. So that's a company that is actually building and creating technology for other companies, like the tech-driven companies, to use.
Are there tech startups in Africa being led by women?
Yes, there are. There are some fantastic startups like, so for example, one of the founders of Ushaidi, Juliana Rotish, she's a woman in tech. She's also the person behind The Brick, which is an internet unit for remote areas. You know, then there are a couple of South African female tech founders. There was actually a list published in Forbes last year, basically listing top 10 female tech founders in Africa, you know, and that is something that, you know, for me was very, very interesting to see, because in Nigeria there are not a lot of young women who are starting tech companies.
I was going to ask
there are
you
a lot
that.
of women who are working within tech companies or tech-driven companies, but not actually starting them themselves, because they have that, you know, phobia of technology, or they're just not go-getters, or they feel like, oh, let's, you know, this market is still very volatile, let's look at it. But I'm happy that they, you know, it's gaining more and more traction around Africa, and I think the more women we have in Africa that, you know, work in tech and build tech companies or tech-driven companies, the more role models we'll have, and the more role models we'll have, the more women we'll have in technology in the long term.
How long have you been in the tech industry?
I've been in the tech industry for 10 years now.
10 years?
Yeah.
And I'm interested to know, how did it all start for you?
So, I mean, I've always had technology around me. I've had a computer from the age of 3, and it's something that was never introduced to me as, oh, it's for boys or it's for girls. It was just something that you have to know, right? And it's something that when it's surrounding you, tech is amazing. Tech is something that is very, very exciting. Tech is something that is, you know, it allows you to do so many things, and it allows you to automate processes. It allows you to simplify things as well, and it makes your life easier. And I like anything that makes my life easy. So that's kind of how I got into technology. Then at some point I studied bioinformatics. I worked in research for a long time. I was building basically chemical compound databases, but using technology, doing that and doing screening. And for example, with technology, you can actually reduce the time for drug discovery for that process. You can reduce it by 6 years, which obviously saves you a lot of money and a lot of time. And for me, that was something that was really, really amazing, because it meant that, you know, you can apply this technology in other sectors. So when I came back to Nigeria, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to use the technology and apply it in the business world, help companies make their processes more seamless, help them streamline their operations, help them save a lot of money and time by integrating tech into their business.
What has been the challenges for you for an industry that is male-dominated?
I think the key thing is that, you know, a lot of people still have the perception that there has to be an IT guy. I'm here to break that perception. I'm the IT girl. And I think, you know, that the more people understand that women can be in technology, the better it is for everybody else. So, you know, it's to break down those stereotypes and to show people that you can do it. And I think that with the track record that I've built with my company and the brand that I've built in the last 7 years, I've been able to actually show that a woman can be in technology and can be successful in technology, and that a woman can actually understand technology, and that she doesn't necessarily need a man that is in the forefront of the company.
Wow, Nkem, that has been interesting. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you've heard from Nkem. If she can do it, you can do it. We'll be right back after the short break. Our app of the week is Evernote. Now, would you like to go paperless? Evernote is a note-taking app, or what I'll simply refer to as an e-filing cabinet, that would help you achieve that. You can use it to do virtually anything, from note-taking to book writing to running a paperless system, even placing your physical bills into Evernote. One of the most interesting things about Evernote is that you can use it seamlessly across all your devices as it syncs automatically, saving your data on Evernote's secured server. Why would I want to type anything on my PC notepad when I have Evernote that will keep my content safely in the cloud? I find Evernote to be so useful that I use it to achieve a lot in any given week, including planning all types of content that I develop. Evernote is such a useful tool that we will still mention some of its cool features in the coming weeks. Our Tech Clinic segment for today, question 1. Bemi writing from Lagos asking, when using the internet, I constantly get pop-ups and ads. I have made sure my pop blocker is on. I also did an antivirus scan, and I installed AdBlock Plus. But I still get these pop-ups, and I don't know what else to do to stop these pop-ups and ads. Please help. Okay, Bemi, you have been targeted by what is called a malware or an adware. If you're getting this many pop-ups, that's what it means. So you need to clean up your personal computer. Now, I recommend the following free tools to help you with the cleanup. Number 1, go to your control panel, remove any program you're not using, and find out if there are any strange programs so you can uninstall that. Now, also get a free tool called CC Cleaner. It will help you to scan your computer and remove any adware. Number 3, get what is called a malware bite. This would also help you to clean your computer and remove any spyware that is there. And finally, also get what is called a spybot. Spybot also is free. It runs through your hard drive and removes anything that is contrary to what causes the hardware. Then our second question is on how can I protect my child while online? Now, there are 2 ways to go around this. First is the possibility of blocking the sites altogether, and the other situation is to remotely monitor what he or she is doing online. Either way, you will need to install a tool like the Spectre Pro. This, unfortunately, is a paid tool. That is, you have to pay to use it. But it sure does the work by keeping a record of everything your child does online in the computer. And it also blocks the negative sites. Another tool called Army Admin. Army Admin is free to use, and you can use it to monitor what your child does. Please feel free to send your questions and comments or suggestions to techtrends@channelcv.com, also using any of our social media sites as displayed on your screen. I'd love for you to use some of the tools and tips you've learned today on Tech Trends. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of the show. My name is Chukwemeka Agbata. Join us next week on Tech Trends.